Bet on Bears fans, another edition of the Chicago Bears podcast coming your way on a rainy day. Pat the designer and the good kid, John Jurko in the building. Did you swim here a little bit, Jurk? Have to backstroke on the way here?
It's wet outside.
Yes, that's
usual. The problem on the Dan Ryan over at 130th Street reared its ugly head as it usually does.
Yeah.
Really kind of slowed things down. So I ended up jumping off on 130th. Took Torrance, took Yates, got up to the south side. South Shore neighborhood over by Misericordia, and then I shot up, the Jackson Park Golf Course.
Absolutely.
Shot up Lakeshore Drive. Got here safely.
That's a man who doesn't use the GPS.
That's the safe. No,
he's got it.
No, I've done it so many times. You just know it. It's when I have to, you have a little problem on that usual area.
Yeah.
That you've got to go ahead and you've got to finagle somewhere to be able to get around it all.
Hey, you've been in the game a while, so you understand the ways to get here. But I gotta ask. Do you understand the ways to make this Bears team better? We're going to play a little deal or no deal today, Jurko. We're going to talk about some free agents out there, some people who may be free agents on the team, and would you give them a deal or no deal? But first,
I'm glad you mentioned that.
Oh.
Because I got to tell you about a new partner that
you got a deal.
That's right. We got a new partner, Mitch Lyons Wealth. Mitch Lyons was an NFL player kind of like myself. He played for the Atlanta Falcons and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We actually played games against each other.
Ooh.
He's here for a game plan for your retirement. That's what he's looking for, to protect that wonderful nest egg that you have. Not only that to protect the nest egg, but make that nest egg work for you. That's what our guy Mitch Lyons does at Mitch Lyons Wealth. I got to get it. It's your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement, and it's MitchLyonsWealth.com. Mitch, Lyons, wealth.com. MitchLyonsWealth.com.
Make sure to get in tune with Mitch Lyons.
I'm getting better.
You are a professional,
better.
Sir. My God, it's like you've been in the game.
For a while.
But that's why you know the game.
All right, let's go.
Let's start it off. Free agency, deal or no deal. I'm going to start off with some people who are currently on the team. Let's start it off with Tevin Jenkins. Would you bring Tevin Jenkins back, knowing the injury history? You giving him a deal or no deal?
No deal.
To keep this offensive line?
No deal. He signs a new. He's not much unlike Mooney.
Darnell
Mooney needed to change address. I think Tevin Jenkins needs a change of address. I think he'll appreciate it where he goes. He just he's got to stay healthy. That's all.
Are the health issues in your mind at all concerned or attributed to having to overwork because he's been next to Braxton so much versus some technique issues in there at all?
No, there's no overwork issues whatsoever. These guys all work hard. They all bust their butts. I don't have a problem with the way he played.
Yeah.
I have a problem with how much availability there was for him.
100%.
So that's why I would just say thank you. It was a wonderful effort. I wish it worked out better for us, but it didn't. I'm there with you.
Keenan Allen on the team, deal or no deal.
Absolutely.
You get a bid for him.
Absolutely no deal. Nope. He moves on. Nope. You go young. That's where you're at receiver. You've got a rookie. He's going to be a second-year player, and you've got a veteran, DJ Moore. You got a theoretical tight end, Cole Kmet, that wasn't for one reason or another looked at by Caleb Williams. No.
You go
young, you go youthful, you start plugging the players in, and you start bringing them in. Yes,
that one I've never been as worried about because you do get a pick back. I believe you get the pick you traded away essentially back this year, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with Keenan Allen. This one not a free agent yet, but Courtney Cronin brought him up as an underrated player that you may need to sign now. Kyler Gordon, deal or no deal for Kyler Gordon?
I'll give Kyler Gordon's going to get a deal. I like Kyler Gordon. I like Brisker. I like the combination of the both of them.
Yeah.
But, Kyler Gordon will get a deal at some point. They'll address it when they choose to address it. That's it. That's how I'd put it.
He's going to be one where, and you mentioned the other one, Jaquan Brisker. I think he's the big question.
They can't pay everyone.
Exactly.
And Brisker's a question mark only because of his concussion.
Because of the concussion.
Not because of his play, but because of concussion.
If I told you get this line fixed, are you sacrificing one of those two guys, the defensive line? Would you sacrifice signing one of those two guys?
I don't think you're going to have to a choice. You're one of those guys is not going to be here.
Yeah,
I think that's just the way that it works. And if people don't like Tariq Stevenson, at some point he'll be sacrificed. Also, if they don't like them, if they don't like him, if Dennis Allen comes in and he says, "Hey, Tariq Stevenson's not my guy," then at some point, he doesn't get paid, and you funnel some guys. They've got depth back there theoretically.
100%. Seems like they're trying to get Tyreek fixed. Al Harris already sending him to a DB's camp to work on some of the technique and stuff like that.
Wrong.
So,
all it is sometimes little things.
And sometimes just a little bit between the ears. A little bit between the ears.
Hey, I still like his level of compete, though.
I like the fact
he's out there fighting. He's out there trying to smack the ball out.
Yes.
He's not trying to get out of the way. He's not trying to he's not making business decisions out there. He's still out there balling. Why? Because he hasn't been paid yet.
I may be in the minority of this, but I like a guy that gets under a wide receiver's skin. He's good at that. And he has the talent to go out there and play the guys on the other side.
The guy from New Orleans is the best at it. He really
CJ Gardner, CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, he's got the hyphen in his name.
Yeah, he's a hyphenated guy there, Yerk. This one came out. Chicago Bears is a favorite landing spot for a offensive lineman, 26 years old, 6'3", 300-pound Drew Dahlman from
center from
the Atlanta Falcons. Yes,
number 4 in the PFF. I mean, and what's your price?
Deal or no deal. Right now, they have him around $20 million coming in.
The center, and you're
going to center.
So you're spending $40 million
on 2 positions on the offensive line, essentially,
including the Kansas City guy, and then you're going to have to pay Darnell Wright.
You in on that?
Now you're looking. Are you going to have to pay Darnell Wright?
You're going to have to pay Darnell Wright.
You're going to go back and go into the offensive line game again. I don't think you can. I think once you delve into it, that's where you stay. So we'll see. I don't know if Dahlman's necessarily going to be top money. The top guard gets paid $21.5 million.
Top center.
Then there's one. No, I said guard.
Oh, top guard.
I said guard.
Yeah.
21.5. Next guy makes 21, and the other 2 make 20. That's 4 guys that make above 20, and they're the usual suspects in the guard position. I don't know what the top centers make. I always thought the top centers didn't quite make into the 20s, but we'll find out. Exactly what the centers look like or what they don't look like. But I think you can get Dahlman up here. I don't think you have to crack the bank for Dahlman the way you're going to have to crack the bank for the guard from Kansas City.
Yeah, that's the next name on the list there. Your deal or no deal. You in on Trey Hendrickson, knowing you're probably paying.
Trey who?
I'm sorry, Trey. Wrong Trey. I'd take a Trey Hendrickson. Trey Smith. Are you in on Trey Smith, knowing that you're giving him probably $80 to $85 million?
Here's your problem, though. What that means, you're bringing Braxton Jones back.
More than likely, yes.
So you're going to have Braxton. You're going to have another guy. You're going to have a guy that you draft, a rookie that's going to be your starting guard for you. Well, it depends because they're talking about the kid from LSU having to move in.
Will Campbell, possibly a guard,
the same way the kid from Northwestern moved
Peter
in.
Skoronsky.
Skoronsky. So, that's what you're looking at then. So it might mean that the guy on the outside's got to stay.
Are you taking
Braxton Jones?
If you feel like Will Campbell is a guard at the next level, are you taking him in high at 10?
That's where you have to take him.
Yeah.
Because he won't be there.
He
won't be there.
Yeah.
So if you think you want him, then you've got to take him at 10. If you look at it and you say, hey, maybe not. I don't mind drafting tackles. I would draft all tackles and move them
inside because you have that versatility.
That doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
As long as my plan was that I was going to draft the tackle and move them inside.
Yeah.
And I want them maulers and big guys. That's what
he's a big boy. So we'll see what ends up happening with him. Here's a situation that I laid out this morning on the Morning Breeze. Maybe you want to draft your center. I like a Jake Majors out of Texas. I like him as a center second round pick.
I have not done any analysis on any of the centers out there. It's rare that a center gets drafted in the first round.
Yeah. He's a second round pick.
When you run around
maybe
there,
third even.
Look at your centers over the course of a lifetime and find me the centers that have been drafted in the first round. Pouncey. I think Pouncey was drafted in the first round.
Pouncey.
I think Dermontti Dawson was a second round pick. I mean, you go through it and you go through all your drafts and look at your first center and where he's usually taken. He's usually taken in the second round. If you're going to take a center in the draft, you're not going to take Dahlman.
And that's where I was going.
So there you go.
A little bit longer in the tooth.
The last center in the first round was 2013.
Yeah, and his name was
Travis Frederick.
I couldn't even pull it.
I don't know who
drafted him. I couldn't even pull a Travis Frederick.
Not off
top of the head.
Right. But I think the point is that the elite ones, if there are an elite one, will go in the first round. When they're not elite, they'll go in the second, third, fourth round.
100%.
Where they end up falling to. I think Olin Kreutz was a Pro Bowler, 6-time Pro Bowler, was a third-round draft choice for the Chicago Bears.
Absolutely. Olin Krut's phenomenal.
You can find him.
What I was going to say was, if you draft a second-round center, do you immediately want to start him, or do you go with a bridge guy? Ryan Kelly's available.
No,
from Indianapolis.
You put the center in the game and you let him play. Offensive linemen usually are intelligent players, and they'll be able to handle the mental aspect of it all. You get him in there, you fire him in there, and you let him play.
All right. No deal for a Ryan Kelly in that situation then.
Nope.
This one came out, Yerk, and this is probably the most hilarious one. Chris Godwin has been
receiver.
Has been set as a best available position to the Chicago Bears, possibly filling that slot role like Amon-Ra St. Brown did up in Detroit. Deal or no deal on Chris Godwin?
Or what Keenan Allen had. Chris Godwin has come at a discount then. He won't be an initial signing in the first or second week. He'd be a guy that sits and floats for a little bit and gets signed in the third week of free agency. I think that's just the way you got to play it. You got one guy that's making a ton of money. I see. What are you going to pay him? $8 million?
Yeah.
That's what I can pay him. $8 million. If he goes for more than that, God bless you. Good luck. Have a great career. He's coming off. He was injured a little bit last year. He missed the season, I believe, at some point.
Yeah.
With an injury. So he'd have to come at an $8 million price tag.
Does it feel like the Bears actually have enough of the outside guys where you can have a full free agency of just focusing on the trenches? Of course, you're going to have to fill in some of your glue guys.
I mean,
people talk about it like just draft all linemen, sign all linemen. Can you really do that?
Listen, you've got DJ Moore and Roma Dunze. You got Cole Kmet that you're paying $12 million a year to. Those are your three receivers.
Yeah.
I mean, how much time do you have back there?
Yeah.
So if you go slot, I mean, if you need the slot, and you go three wide receivers with one tight end. There's your weapons. Those are your weapons. Swift can catch the ball, right?
He in theory.
Well, I'm saying
in theory, we did see him catch footballs last year.
You signed him. He's supposed to be a versatile player to be able to catch him. Why they signed him, I have no idea. Roshan's the same way. Roshan's got the concussion. How are you going to have a running back with concussion?
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to depend upon him?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Roshan's on a scrap heap.
This is a wild
tough world.
This is
scrap heap for me.
NFL's a tough place.
You're running back with a bubble on. No good. Gotta go to no good.
You're because you are one of my favorite armchair doctors because of all the medical things you've gone through, hearing you on the show. Now, concussions, right, is the brain running into the skull from hard impact, right?
Well,
essentially.
So what happens is your brain is held there in like
within the water, the bubble,
suspension, the fluid, but it's in there. So when your body hits, so it's kind of like on an independent suspension. When your body hits, say I get hit from this side, my body is traveling.
Right.
My brain stays until it feels resistance. Then as it goes, it gets hit from that side, then goes.
Right.
And then probably hits the other side, then tries to
and centers it.
So it's probably a couple of shots. And when the occipital,
the
lobe in the back here,
yes.
Occipital lobe, when you get that hit where you go hit and then your head slams into the ground like that.
Yeah. To a tongue of
that's the one
situation.
where the that's where the brain smacks into the back of the head and causes concussion. I always felt that if you wore a mouthpiece and you wore a mouthpiece correctly, you wear a mouthpiece not to protect your teeth. You wear a mouthpiece to protect you from concussions.
Okay.
That's what I believe.
Okay.
It's my belief.
Did it work for you?
I never had a concussion.
Okay. All right.
I saw stars 3 times. They might call it a concussion, but
yeah.
I knew where I was, didn't know where I was. I always knew where I was, and I knew who hit me. Each time I saw stars, I knew who hit me. Dermontti Dawson, Zorich, and Priest Holmes.
Those are guys that'll hit you. My point in asking all of that was, what's the bubble stopping? I feel like the bubble's not stopping.
Extra layer.
The brain is inside of your head.
Extra layer of protection. That's what they try to tell you. That's the helmet companies trying to limit themselves to liability.
Is that what that is? Is that because
we've tried. Look, we made an effort. Scientific studies will say, but
every time I see it, I'm like, But the brain's in here.
Once
You're
you-
whipping and hitting your head.
Guys,
still.
that's the problem. Once you get that concussion, they know you got that concussion. I don't care what anybody says. When I asked the question, Juan Brisker, how's he going to change his game? Juan Brisker has to change his game. He's got to see what he hits. Can't lower the boom anymore. He's got to see what he hits. The face mask has to see what he's hitting. And they said, well, it was the guy that lowered his head. No. Takes two to lower your head. You guys can look at each other and go face mask to face mask. He lowered his head. Brisker made the choice to lower his head. That's where the impact happened. That's where the problem was.
Right.
So when you say change the game, he's got hit with his face. The guy goes and lower the boom. You find a way to go ahead and trap and turn him and get him down to the ground. Okay. But you can't lower your head to lower the boom. Not only that, but when you tackle, your head's supposed to be to the side, and it's not supposed to be an issue. So get your head to the side. See what you hit. Get your head to the side.
Yeah. Got to get that improved tackling. Let's finish out deal or no deal with this one. Good kid is a name also connected to the Chicago Bears, and he may be playing he will be playing in the Super Bowl this upcoming weekend or next weekend.
Who is it?
Next weekend. Josh Sweat. Would you be interested in the Sweat connection, defensive end for the Philadelphia Eagles? I believe 9 sacks this season for Josh Sweat.
I believe in your first 42 picks, you've got 3 of them. That's where your pass rusher will come from. That's where your value comes from. That's where you're going to save a little bit of money.
Going draft over free agency for the pass rusher.
No, on Sweat. Last year was the year that you should have gone to free agency.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you should have gone. But everybody was saying it.
Yes.
Daniil Hunter, the kid from Houston that went to Minnesota. All they did was change pass rushers. That's all they did.
Swapped them around.
They swapped pass rushers. Hell, they could have made a trade for each other. You know? Hey, I'll take that guy. You take this guy. What do you think?
Yeah.
And then you figure out what to pay him. You guys are in charge of the contract.
It's last year was absolutely the year. I think this year there's going to be a lot of overcorrecting, and that does scare me a little bit. Good kid. I think that you're paying more for Trey Smith because you've made the mistake of failing at the offensive line the entire time. You're going to be possibly spending on the draft.
Trey Smith's going to get paid.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether the Bears pay him or not, he's going to get paid. So you are where you're at. And guess what? Tevin Jenkins is going to make about $13-14 million.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
He is.
I keep saying that.
So he's going to go to somewhere where they need an offensive line. They're going to look at him. They're going to say he's rugged. He's big. We're going to take him.
My producer on the Breeze has this dream scenario where he gets an incentive-based contract, and I was like, he's going to get paid. He's good when he's on the field.
Yep.
He's going to get paid. I'm not paying him.
Right.
I wouldn't pay him. But can I see the Oakland Raiders or the Vegas Raiders paying him, or
we'll see.
One of those things? Like, absolutely.
We'll see what the final deal is.
Yeah,
that'll tell you. We'll see. And then he might sign a deal that's for 13-14, but he would never have played for the Bears for that kind of money.
Yeah,
that happens also.
Little Alshon action. I'd take less to not play for you again. And we had that here before. Hey, let us know your thoughts in the comments below, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. You've got a very important interview. Make sure you tap in with that later. I'm sure it will be clipped up on the ESPN 1000 page. Andy Reid coming on, good kid.
Yep.
Former coach action.
The old ball coach. He's our tight ends coach in Green Bay.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love it.
So we got him. He's coming out 11:50. Boom.
Can't wait to hear it. Stay tapped in for the good kid, John Jurko, your boy, Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Let me know all the players we said. Would you give them a deal or no deal? Red Dot. One love. Peace.